Hello everybody. So today's technique, I am going to be taking the same embossing folder that we had used during one of our last ones. Remember we made the card that looked like this, so we used the embossing folder to kind of cut that out and design that. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be using that same embossing folder, and we're going to be making a fun envelope to go with it. So I'm not exactly sure where my embossing tool is at the moment, but usually it's like a tool that has two different ends and there's an embossing side on it. So I'm actually going to be using the one that goes into my Cricut right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my embossing folder here, and this is the envelope of the card, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up with one of these designs. So I have one of the watermelon right here. And what I'm going to kind of do is I'm going to find that groove line with my stylus here. So now that I've found that groove line, I can follow it around with my stylus. And I can kind of keep looking at the pattern underneath too, if that helps you. But if you have your embossing tool, this is what you're going to do. I'm going to follow this around. I added the track a little bit there. Oh, I went on the second track, so that's why. So there's track 2. Here's track 1. And then we've got some of the seeds to do. All right. And see, with my stylus, now I've made this really cute design on the back of my card. So it's like it's got a little imprint. So I can do the same thing on the front. This is going to be a little tougher because it's through 2 sheets of paper. But once I find that first groove, which I did, so you can kind of see that there. So now we've got an embossed part of our envelope, which goes really well with our card. So isn't that really cute? Just something easy. It will be a lot easier if you have an embossing tool. Let me see if I can find mine. All right, well, I was not able to find my embossing tool, but I would promise you it would work a lot better with this. So when we do throw it together Thursday, I will show you with that. But let me just grab a scrap piece of paper and do this again so you can kind of see it a little bit more. So this is just a normal piece of paper. I'll do it on the bigger one so you can kind of see that. So this one might rip just because it's literally just a piece of paper here. But so instead of like putting your whole embossing folder through, right? So that's kind of what you would be doing. This is to create a little bit of a design on like a card or just a piece of paper. If you want just like a smaller image, that's kind of what we're creating here. I'm trying to use the edge of this to get the feel of like what an embossing tool would look like. So see how we got that cool image now. Then we have to do the inside. So we got the two images there. So see, you've got that really cool embossed design. So just a fun thing that you can play with instead of embossing an entire sheet. So all right, we hope you enjoyed this Technique Tuesday.